Hello, my Instagram family. Hearty welcome after a 1 week, you know, break, I would say. एक हफ्ता हो जाता है तो बहुत सारे दिन हो जाते हैं, right? मिले हुए. Alright, so today I have an amazing guest who is a certified life coach. She is an NLP practitioner. She is an international Heal Your Life workshop facilitator. मैं क्या क्या बताऊं उनके बारे में. शी इज़ अ होलिस्टिक माइंड न्यूट्रिशन सेंटर. शी इज़ अ फाउंडर ऑफ न्यूट्री माइंड and she has impacted multiple lives through her work in mindset healing and transformation. She's passionate about self-awareness and healing. She helps people rewire their thought process through her unique formula, the unique approach that is reflect, reset, and replenish approach. Are you excited to meet her? She's an amazing person, and I know her by experience. I have experienced her. She's a beautiful person. She's a soulful person, I would say. And let me call out her name. Let's give lots and lots of hearts and emoticons in the chat box to welcome her. Let's welcome Haripriya ma'am, who is with us today. Let's get her on. That happen in our lives, but um, how do we forgive, how do we forget, is something that really is a beautiful topic, isn't it? Hi Haripriya ma'am, how are you?
Hi, Karishma. I can't see you.
You can't see me, I can see you.
Yeah,
All right. Hi, Sneha. Thank you for joining in. We are talking about forgiveness today by Haripriya ma'am. She will be giving us multiple solutions. If you have any questions, I would love for you to, put it in the chat, and we shall ask Haripriya ma'am, an expert who works on the mindset healing and, helps people rewire their thoughts process through her unique approach of reflect, reset, and replenish. All right, Haripriya ma'am, I have introduced you in my own words. Would you like to introduce yourself your own way?
thank you, Karishma. Thank you for this opportunity and thank you for the kind words. I am internationally licensed Helio Life Workshop Facilitator, and I love this work. We work on the philosophy of Louise Hay, and all of you might know who is Hay, the author of You Can Heal Your Life. A copy, like 50 million copies, have been sold worldwide, and this is the best book in the world, suggested by psychologists, doctors, and all. Everyone should have this book in their home and go through it. And Louis is a metaphysical teacher who first found out that all the physical diseases in the body are caused by emotional and mental diseases. And she was the one who just reversed her cancer by changing her thought patterns. So she was the one who introduced affirmations, how to use them, and the beautiful mirror work. She was a queen of self-love. And according to Louise Hay, like our topic today is forgiveness, Louise Hay says that forgiveness is the miracle cure for everything in the world. Am I audible?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Wow, that's beautiful. My first question actually was for you to ask about this only, what according to, Louise Hay philosophy, what is her approach towards forgiveness and self-healing? We would like to know it a little in an elaborated form. Could you please share that with us?
Yeah, sure, Karishma. I would love to. See, forgiveness actually it originates from a German word, which means forge pan. Okay, which means to give, to grant or to remit. For means completely giving away. Okay, so it's a Germanic word. And what does it mean by when we say giving away? What is it that we give away? So it is the emotional charge which we are holding against some hurt or a person or a situation from the past. Am I clear?
Yes.
And when we don't forgive, when we hold on, we are just caging ourselves. We are just becoming prisoners. We are prisoners of those past situations, those past hurt, the thought of those people who hurt us. We ourselves are caging ourselves. We are holding on
Absolutely
so.
true. Absolutely true. I agree with it. But then, there are so many people who want to forgive, they want to move on, but it is so difficult to forgive, right?
Yeah,
So, how do we do it?
yeah. As you said, it's right. When I say, like to my clients, I say, please forgive. Why should we forgive? That person did so much to me. So it's not actually the person doing the thing. It's what is the emotional charge we are holding. What is the power we are giving to that particular situation or that person. Okay, and forgiveness is for ourselves. It is not for the other person. It is for ourselves, to heal, to completely. It is actually freedom. Forgiveness is freedom. And my mentor, Dr. Sampurna ma'am, says that, like, if you see all her workshops, she named it as forgiveness path to freedom. And it's the highest form of love, When we love someone so deeply, we won't receive that love back. But
Hmm.
what is the highest form of love? We just need to forgive that person and just let go.
But is forgiveness to that person, or we are forgiving ourselves in the process?
Yeah, wonderful. It is for both, and it is for the situation also. But most importantly, and it is very easy to forgive others, but the most important and difficult task is forgiving ourselves, which should be the first priority. We have to forgive ourselves first. In fact, today also, I had a client, mirror work session I was doing with my client. And today's topic was exactly about forgiveness. Today's topic.
We also were reading, Master Your Emotions, and we have also read about resentment only. And I was like, wow, yeah, nice. And today's topic is also, forgiveness, resentment, and all around that. Wonderful. Hmm.
And see the miracle, Karishma, even my live event, which I'm offering on 13th April in Hyderabad, it's also about forgiveness. So everywhere this thing is going on. So this is an indication for me to do my deep inner work also. If I need to forgive anyone, it's an indication.
Yes.
So, see, when we were babies, we used to embrace everyone. Like, our heart was so open. But now we are like we have all around us the chains of hurt, the chains of bitterness, the chains of resentment. Yes or no? So, see, just like we pass on, no, our materialistic, I'm very sorry for the dogs barking sound. Uh, is it disturbing?
No, we are very much engaged in what you are telling us, so it's okay. Let it be.
Okay. So, just like we pass on, like why we should forgive, why is it important is when we generally pass on, no, to our generations, we pass on the materialistic things, the properties, the jewelry, and all the important furniture and all. See how I am choking, It's a reminder that I need to forgive someone. Maybe I need to forgive that dog. Okay. So,
Have
we
some
all.
water now. Have some water.
Yeah. So we also, we pass on that emotional will. Whatever we are holding on, no, the emotional charge. So we pass on that emotional will also to our generations. So we have to be very careful because again, we are all one. We are all of the same planet. The collective energies also matter. So forgiveness is so important that when we start forgiving ourselves, whole world around us keeps changing. Our relationships at the workplace, the society, even when like my mentor, she conducts forgiveness sessions in Tihar jail and all that.
Wow.
and drastic changes in the prisoners. And even, in her session, she mentioned, like somebody was asking, if we do forgiveness here, if a world war is happening, will it like change the situation? And acha, sorry to interrupt, Karishma. Stuti is saying that screen is going blank every 2 to 3 seconds. Am I only facing that? Actually,
So
I
I
can
think
see.
there is a slight network issue. Your network might be a little bad at your end, Haripriya ma'am, but otherwise it's okay. I can see you, I can hear you nicely. It's okay.
Okay. Stuti is also facing it. I don't know. Okay. So she said, yes, when we start forgiving, no, when we practice forgiveness, so much will change. And this holding on to is so dangerous that there was one client for me almost 4 months back. And one morning, 6 o'clock, she called me that she's unable to pass urine. Her bladder was so tight, but when she went to the washroom, she was unable to release the urine. Immediately, I started, doing the Hawaiian prayer for forgiveness. And after 10 minutes, she could release. So this forgiveness thing is so impactful. And so
Wow.
many health problems also are cured.
That's what exactly I was getting into key resentment. How does that affect our mental as well as physical well-being? And you so beautifully have shared this example ki, oh my god, this is the level of problem that can occur. What about mental? I've also heard that this book by Louise Hay also talks about how when we hold on to the emotions, how our body gets impacted, we get unwell as well, right? So, would you like to put some light on, the mental aspect of it as well? Ki what happens with us in there?
See, there's a beautiful experiment by Dr. Masaru Emoto, which is very famous, the water experiment. And then when like two samples were taken and one sample of water was, charged with all the positive words and all, and the second sample was charged with all the negative emotions, negative words and all. And when they looked in the microscope after freezing the crystals, the result was like mind blowing, right? So even just a water molecule, when there is so much impact, just our words, are changing a water molecule in such a level. Just think about ourselves in the body and what we are doing.
70% of water is there.
Yeah, and what we are doing. So even resentment leads to cancer. That was the reason for Louise's cancer also. She was carrying a lot of resentment towards men who abused her, raped her since she was a child of 5, 6 years almost, who mistreated her, misbehaved with her. And then once she started, forgiving herself and forgiving all the men, her cancer was cured. Of course, she practiced other things like, proper diet, proper lifestyle. But the doctors had given up at one point of time, and she proved them wrong.
Also, it is said that, forgive and forget, right?
Ah,
Um, what is the difference between forgiving and forgetting? And also, should we forget?
yeah, we can forget, we should forget, but what are we forgetting? What are we forgetting? We can just maybe forget that person, but what about the already stored trauma inside us? What is the emotional charge we are holding on to? That is what we have to forgive. Completely erase it, release and let go. And yeah, definitely. There's one important point which my mentor always speaks, and I love about it. She says, if you want to reconcile with a person who hurt you, forgiveness is definitely most important thing you need to do. But
Are you reading my brain? Are you reading my brain?
Yeah, we are on the same, no? Maybe. So she says, forgiveness uh, for reconciliation. Forgiveness is very important, but reconciliation is not important. We need not reconciliate with the person. We can just forgive at the soul level. We need not stay together or accept that person in the life or give our access to that person.
Yes.
Okay.
Forgiveness granted, excess not granted. That's how
Ah,
she says.
ah, ah. So let me put
Yeah,
that.
that's exactly what my next question was actually, that even if we forget, is it important, or can we forgive somebody without reconciling with them? And how does that work? And you've already answered it. See, we are exactly on the same, frequency and the same page, that, before even me asking you a question, the answer is automatically coming there. uh what role does, self forgiveness play
Hmm.
in personal transformation? Because I've seen that, no matter, चलो जितना भी गलत हो गया हमारी लाइफ में, किसी के साथ किसी ने कर दिया, there is a lot of importance that is given towards the self forgiveness, even if that person does not exist in our lives, right? Because of which we hold so much of it in our heart and soul. So what would you like to say on that?
Yeah, I would like to share my personal story, and I'm not scared because I will tell you, my father left us. He abandoned us when I was 15, and uh, I was in the, like, that is a turning point for any child, who's working hard, studying hard, who's a topper of the school, and we have many dreams. We want to pursue this career, that career, and at that moment, if the head of the family is leaving, so I didn't know, and that I'm carrying something against my father. And I started attracting men who exactly behaved in the same way, emotionally unavailable, financially unavailable, physically unavailable. And both my marriages, both ended in the same way, like same kind of partners I attracted. And I didn't know this. When I went to my certification training in 2022, one day I was working on this forgiveness, and then I understood that there was so much inside me anger uh, for my father, who was not who the last time I saw my father was in 1996, and I don't know anything about him, where he is, he's alive or he's dead, or uh, some people say he's in the same city. So everything is going on. And there I started releasing him. I was crying whole day. And then we have an exercise called pillow punching, where we have to release. And first half an hour, nothing happened. I was only getting pains. And I was so tired that I stopped at a time. And Sampurna ma'am, like, she came and she just looked at me and said, continue, continue. And for next, I think for 45 minutes, I was like continuously doing, and then things started changing in my life. First, I was carrying so much emotional charge for my father. I started feeling so light after that. And then I became a magnet to miracles slowly once I started releasing these people. And then I was carrying so much unknowingly about my ex husband also. So whether the person is in your life or they are not in life, whether they are alive or whether they are dead, it doesn't matter. And this is how I don't know why I feel like mentioning here. When I say money energy trauma, this is how our money energy is. It affects all areas of life. It affects the relationship. It affects our prosperity, and that is the reason why, being a coach since last 4 5 years, I was not able to earn how much I invested, and and then only one layer. There are so many layers, and when you start healing one layer, another layer comes up. When you start healing one layer, another layer comes up.
Hmm.
So
Wow.
that's the reason it's important, like working on ourselves every day is very, very important. Just like taking bath, mental
Wow.
housekeeping.
That is
is
so,
very-
so beautiful. Can you share a few, practical steps how to start forgiving someone who has deeply hurt us as well as our own selves?
Yeah, what I tell my clients is first thing is affirmations. They're really so wonderful, and you have to like increase the self love. So that is start your day with looking into the mirror and for 15-20 minutes continuously keep saying, I love you, I love you, I love and approve myself, I love and approve myself. Because after 12 minutes, the mind stops chattering and then the magic begins. First 12 minutes, you will have a lot of resistance. The inner voice can't tell it. And this is one thing where, when you start loving yourself, then you will see that how important it is for you to release this charge unnecessarily, which you are holding on to. When you start, freeing yourself from this cage and start enjoying that freedom, then you will actually want more of that freedom, more of that joy, more of that love and peace. Now, if sometimes a person is right with us in our home and we can't do anything about it. So, the best thing is the Ho'oponopono prayer, which we can do. And the inner child connection is the most important thing. Forgiveness, please seek forgiveness from your inner child every day. Sit with your
This
inner
is my
child.
next question.
Yeah,
You spoke about how you still remember, the pain of your father abruptly leaving you all, and how you were talking about in the beginning of this conversation that बच्चे कितने सही होते हैं वो कितनी जल्दी से भूल के आगे बढ़ जाते हैं. That's where this question is coming from, that how does our inner child influence our ability to forgive?
so see, this is all again the wiring of the mind. So already the mind is wired. The neural pathways are strongly formed. Yeah. And they become our beliefs. Right? Whatever we heard no as a child, we start believing in it. And then we start acting. And our body remembers all the trauma, each and every history. We don't remember the history, but the body remembers.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why, every day we have to keep on rewiring, reprogramming, and affirmations. These some rituals are there, no? The burning process to rewire the subconscious, mirror work. Now, this inner child is so important because we realize that all this is happening in our life only after at a point in our life. Like I am 48, I started this work in 2020. I was 44, 45 something. Okay. Now, what about the child that has gone through all the trauma? Now, as an adult, I am doing the work. But what about the energy the child is carrying? And I was so disconnected from the inner child. It took me 2 to 3 years to connect with my inner child. It was so hard. Because inner child is nothing but our subconscious, right? It is the body, it is the subconscious. So everything is DNA, everything is energy.
Wow. You were talking about affirmations. That reminds me ki I also have an affirmation deck which I had designed to help people set an intention in the beginning of the day and
Yeah.
affirm for themselves something good. Do I have your permission to share the thought for today, if you permit me so?
Wonderful, please go ahead. And I am missing, I want to see you actually. Wonderful. I think
So
our
this is the
audience.
affirmation deck that I had designed. It is a hardcover box, and these are the cards. Let me bring out the cards and let's see what is the. We do it actually in all the live sessions that I bring out a card for the week, and by chance. In every Insta live, there is some talk about affirmation that reminds me that "Acha, acha, acha, let's bring out an affirmation card." So Wow. So today's affirmation card is this, which says, the work always work. The only question is, are we ready to do the work until we see it working? I'm an incredible achiever. That is the affirmation for the day. For the week, in fact, for the viewers who are seeing this Insta live. Haripriya ma'am, there are so many myths around forgiveness as well.
Hmm.
Would you like to highlight a few and share what exactly is it and how can people actually deal with them?
We keep hearing, especially in the family, no, like elders keep saying ki jaane do, forgive. He's a man. It's okay. He can do anything.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So this is one thing. Forgive, जाने दो, आगे बढ़ो. This life must go on, and this is a part of life. You know, especially when something bad happens to us, especially women. You know, and we are in a dilemma. What to do? It's a close relationship.
Yes.
To leave or not? Whether to express or not? Yes or no?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So I would like to suggest that accepting something, some mistreatment or misbehavior from others just for the sake of saving the relationship or just for the sake of बच्चे हैं, you know, हमारे पूरे फैमिली में ऐसा कभी नहीं हुआ. This didn't happen in my family. So just for the sake of all this, you know, like personally, I don't accept. I don't accept. Yeah, you can forgive, but it's completely up to you whether you want to reconcile with that person, stay under the same roof with some boundaries, or you know you can just take care of yourself. Because one of the forms of self-love, one of the ways of self-love is to forgive and not to harm yourself or hurt yourself, and not to define your worth because of someone's behavior. And any other myth you want, like you can ask me, or anybody from the audience, you want to know anything? Not able to think anything. What else? Yeah. And yeah, one thing is people think that is it necessary that the person is physically in front of me to forgive? Not necessary. If you forgive at the soul level, that is most important, and that will also give the same result. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Uh, Before we end this Insta live, I still have one question, that is, how can we deal with the recurring anger or pain even after, we have consciously chosen to forgive someone?
That means we still haven't forgiven if it is recurring. So then, okay, then we need to check. We need to check who is it we need to forgive first, and then who, and then who. And are we forgiving ourselves or not? Where is this? Why is it coming? Why is it still showing up? What else is the work I need to do from deep within?
Wow, that's truly beautiful. Um, thank you so much for the amazing insights that you have shared with us, Haripriya ma'am. And I would love to, understand more on this, but since it's 8:30, we'll wrap this up and we will see to it as to when we can come in again and we can talk about, self-love and the mirror work and all of the such kind of, practices to bring in more value for the viewers. Thank you so much for being here with me and accepting my invite to be on this platform to share your insights on the word forgiveness. Thank you so much.
Most welcome, Karishma. And this is a wonderful platform, and you are doing a wonderful job. So I bless you, I love you, and keep doing more of it. Yeah, I would love to come and talk again a little more, a lengthy session again without the dog barking because it is really disturbing me. So very sorry from my side again. And dear audience, thank you for being here. And please, you can drop the questions if you have in the comments also. We will come back or we will maybe plan another session someday and answer.
Yes. Yes. So
Thank you.
thank you to each one of you who have joined and the ones who are watching our recorded session of this Insta collab. If you have any questions, feel free to put the questions, as Haripriya ma'am said, in the comment section. We will be answering all your questions. And have a wonderful week ahead. Take good care of yourself, your parents, your loved ones, and love yourself a little more. God bless you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.